when it comes to leads, not all leads are created equally. And that's why today I'm going to show you something I've been working on, which is this universal email and Facebook URL finder. Now, this is just a small part of the larger workflow, which I'm still working and trying to improve. But today I'm going to show you something which I think you will find useful. You can find all of this code in the description as well, and I'm going to walk you through it. Now, I made this because lead quality is extremely important. Whether it's cold calling or cold email or cold text or cold DMs, for example, we can think about those as an engine. So if we have an engine here, these are our outbound engines, our systems that get us sales calls, get us customers, and bring in revenue. Now, no matter what you do to that engine, you can put oil in it, the best petrol, the best diesel, whatever, the best fuel, can be a rocket ship. No matter what you do, crap in, right, a nice turd, is always going to equal crap out. And I have noticed that more and more over time, that the more effort I spend in getting the highest lead quality, I get drastically better results from my campaigns. And so what I used to do is use tools like Outscraper or Apollo, which I can get a large amount of leads from, a bulk list from. But the thing about these is that everyone knows about them and everyone uses them, and they're very low friction. There's a low barrier to entry when it comes to these softwares, which is why you're going to get the lowest lead quality, because everyone is reaching out to these leads. So if you go that extra step further and put in that extra amount of energy and effort, then you're going to be reaching out to people who are less contacted. And so this could be manually scraping. So someone can hire a VA to manually scrape it for you. But today I'm just going to show you this workflow I've made, which means I don't have to hire anyone and I can do it automatically overnight, run it 24/7. Not 24/7, you don't want to burn your IP, but you could get a large number of leads with this automation. And less people are reaching out to them, so your campaigns will benefit from it. Your metrics, your KPIs will greatly thank you for this. And obviously the highest quality leads are referrals. So people telling other people about your service. If their friend tells them about a service, they're going to trust them because they're their friend, right? So we can't get quite to that level. Now, this is all outbound systems. These are all cold outreach. So cold outreach, B2B, is always going to be in this category. And organic leads are people that come to you because they know you, they've heard about you. That's going to be a lot warmer. You may have your competition to worry about, people that do something similar. The even higher quality leads are opt-in. The most valuable, the highest return is going to be through referrals. So people hearing about you from a friend and contacting you because they've heard it from someone or a source that they trust. So the highest quality source of leads for B2B outreach is going to be through a combination of these. So it's going to have to be ads. So you run ads to a form and you get, their name, number, email, website, and then from there you reach out to them. So that's going to be the highest quality, but we're not doing that for cold outreach, and every campaign is going to need that. So today, that's why we're going to walk through this simple workflow. It's just a smaller part of this larger workflow I'm working on, but I hope you can find it helpful, and you will find it helpful. So this is the Google Sheet, which has a list of websites we want to enrich and get data for. And that's what our workflow is going to use to get the Facebook URLs and the emails from. So if we execute the workflow and let's see it work. So there's 3 websites in the sheet. So it's going to get all the websites in the sheet. Can be 3, could be 500. And it's going to feed that to the rest of our flow. And it's going to continue working. So if we can see, it already found the first email and the first Facebook page from this website. So if we go on the website and see what it looks like, we can see this is a lawn care service that we're trying to enrich. Now let's look for the information. I can't instantly see any Facebook page or email on this site, but our workflow still worked and got the email and Facebook page. So that's how powerful it is. And it worked for the rest of our leads, for the rest of our websites. And that's partly because of this. It's my own custom API I made within the server, but it can work with just a regular HTTP request to the website. So you want to add the URL that you're looking for, and it will bring back HTML, all of the HTML of that website for this code to then go to work and retrieve those emails and Facebook pages for you, you're going to get a hit rate of around 50%, whereas my custom API is a bit higher, around 70 to 80%, but it works just the same. As you can see, it got all the emails and the Facebook pages, which is perfect, and they all look like the correct emails that we can reach out to. So there we go. So now let's have a look at how the universal email and Facebook link finder works. So it's a long script, many lines of code, which are used to find the email. And there's a few outputs that it produces. So it looks for different types of emails. So for the business email, it returns the business email if it finds it, the generic email if it finds it, and any Facebook pages or URLs. And then it just decides which one is the primary email and the primary Facebook page. And that's it. And so for those outputs, for this example, I just wanted to put the primary email and the primary Facebook page in my Google Sheet. So the update node, it matches on the website and then puts in the primary email and Facebook page into the Google Sheet as we saw. And we have all of these fresh leads ready for us to reach out to. Once again, you can get this script in the description below, but let me just break down how it works and how I wanted it to function. So the first part is the input handling. This section just retrieves the HTML content from a node's input and attempts to extract common properties from it, like the input data, the body, the HTML, the content. And if that doesn't work, then it just stringifies all of the input and feeds that to the rest of the script. And if no HTML content is found, then it just returns an empty array with no emails and no Facebook URLs. Then there's the HTML cleaning function, which just gets the data ready for extraction. So it removes all text that isn't content, that isn't related to the website, collapses white space, and just makes things better for the rest of the script. Then there's the email extraction function, which extracts the email. It removes duplicates, so it doesn't return multiple of the same email, and has multiple methods. So here's just a couple in the whole script. You can see there's 5 different methods. The first method targets mail to links. So like in the example we looked at, we couldn't see the email, but most likely it was in a mail to link, which isn't visible when you're first looking at a site, which is great. Then it tries to extract from attributes containing mail to links. Then it searches for email values in the JSON itself, and then applies a general email regex function to it. So it looks through all of the data and tries to find the email. And finally, if that doesn't work, it just defaults to no email found. And then the same thing with the Facebook URL extraction, looks for Facebook URLs. If it doesn't find them in a later method, it will reconstruct the Facebook URL if it finds a partial match. And yeah, then the URL cleaning function, which just normalizes and standardizes the URLs. Email validation function, which just does a basic regex to exclude invalid emails. And then later on in the function as well, it also does additional things like exclude common placeholders like example@example.com and a bunch of emails that or things you might find on websites. So in the placeholder where people type out their email, it might say example@example. And we don't want to return those in our list. We just want actual emails that already exist on the website. And then the final long part of our script just categorizes the output into business email, generic email, Facebook URLs, and it constructs a JSON output with what it found so we can play with it and put it in our database. But that's it. So it's a long script. You can get in the description and use it at your will and use it responsibly. But I hope you found that helpful. If you want more nitty-gritty stuff, then leave a comment and I'll get into that as well. This is just part of a larger flow I'm working on, and when I'm done, I'll share with you the whole flow. I want to go from the gold mine, so lead sources, databases, the absolute gold mine of new leads, and then turn it into data that we can use in our campaigns. And so that's what I've been working on for the past few days. But yeah, I hope you found that helpful. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.